Shalom, Yashala. All glory and praise, honor to the Most High, Haya, Ashur, Haya, Hashem, Mashiach, Yeshai. This is your brother Shimon coming at you this morning with a word of truth. This morning, we're going to go into probably one of the most important lessons that Israel really needs to take heed to in here. Alright? I'm going to break down some things to where there's no doubt, precept upon precept, you have a full understanding of what this word say, right? First off, you might see something different on me, right? Right? It's beard. There's no beard on, right? So let's break that down right quick before we even get started. This is 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 8. But if any man provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own household, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. Right? So provision, being the breadwinner for your household. It's the man. We got to work, right? So in my line of work, there are some jobs that require us to trim and shave our beard, right? And so I wrestled with this for a minute because I said, I don't want to shave my beard, right? I prayed about it, asked the Most High what he wanted me to do, because there was no jobs available for me to provide for my house. And I'm not trying to be an enemy of the Most High, an infidel. So he gave me 1 Corinthians chapter 9, I'll read at verse 21. And unto them that are without law, as without law, being not without law to the Most High, but under the law to Christ, that I might gain them that are without law. Right? To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. So what the scripture is saying is that there's brethren out there that know the Israel. They got the law. And now they got the law and they believe in with the faith in the Mashiach Yeshai. But then there's others out there who are just under, like I was at one point in time, the doctrine of salvation come through faith in the Mashiach, and that's it. But they don't have the law. Right? And so Paul's saying here that he put himself in certain positions, in certain situations to where he can get to these people. And he made himself weak, as if those that were weak that didn't have the law. And made himself as all men, that he can gain some of them, right? So when the Most High gave me this, my spirit was really uplifted. And as I said, there was no other work for me to do. So it was the will of the Most High that I do go into this place to speak the word to some of my brethren that I would never see, because the line of work that I do, when you work these certain type of jobs, you don't really have a life outside of the job, because you work a lot of long hours. And the Most High, he just gave me the comfort to go in there, trim my beard, but make sure you go in there and win all the souls, win all your brethren, or telling them what the truth, whether they hear it or bear. So this is not a situation where this brother Shimon don't feel like he under the law, he can shave his beard. Now we doing according to the word and through the grace offered through Hamashiach Yeshai, right? So I praise to the Most High. Now, the lesson that we're doing today is going to be it's going to be a 2 to 3 part lesson, if it be the will of the Most High, because I'm going to break this all the way down, and I'm going to try to make it as short as I can, because I don't want to do one long, super long video, because I want you really to hear this word. Okay, let me start off with one scripture, Matthew 5 and 17, all right? Matthew 5 and 17 says, this is the Messiah speaking. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Now, this is a familiar scripture in the Israelite community. But what we're going to focus on is, he said, you think not to destroy the law or the prophets. Meaning, of course, the law is forever. But also everything that the Most High spoke through his men, the prophets, his servants, the prophets, it still has to happen before the Messiah makes his second return. And just because he came doesn't mean what was prophesied to these prophets isn't going to happen anymore, right? So we're going to go to one prophecy given to one of the prophets. And we're going to break it down to show you exactly what it means and show clearly that it hasn't even happened yet. Right? Which means this is something that has to come to pass. Right? All right. Bless your name, Father. So we're going to Hosea chapter 2, verse 14. Alright. Alright, Hosea chapter 2, verse 14. It says, "Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her." Right? Her is Israel, by the way. That is we are married to the Most High. Right? That's why when the Mashiach Yeshua come, he said he's coming for his bride. Right? Because Israel is known as a woman to the Most High. Right? So he says he allure her. He says he's going to allure Israel to the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. Verse 15, "And I will give her her vineyards from thence, in the valley of Achor for a door of hope, and she shall sing there as in the days of her youth, and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt," showing you that her is Israel. The days of our youth is when we were made a nation. We populated 600,000 mighty men of war, men of valor. Besides the women and children and the mixed multitude when we came up out of Egypt, and those were the days of our youth until we came into the land of Canaan and became that great nation. Okay, we were the Hebrews in Egypt, and we became into the days of our youth is when we came out of Egypt, received the law, statutes, and commandments from the Most High through a servant Moses, and then went into Canaan, possessed the land. Right. So, what we need to understand is, what is the wilderness? Right. Now, going through the study of hearing this being taught, I'm hearing a lot of confusion with this interpretation of this verse because of one simple word, and it's called, that word is wilderness, right? So, we're going to break down precept upon precept what the word wilderness means so we can know where the Most High is going to allure Israel to, period. And then you can see throughout the Bible and modern secular history if this thing has happened yet. If it hasn't happened yet, then you should know it's something that we all got to do as Israel, right? First, we're going to go to Isaiah, and we're going to read one of the interpretations of the wilderness. Going to go to Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14 and 17. Now, those aren't familiar with the scripture, this is talking about the devil, how he was cast down from heaven, and through his seed, which is Esau on the earth, he was going to do certain things, in the earth, trying to get back up to the heavens and so on and so forth. So, I'm going to read 17. It says, I'll start at 16. That they that see thee, Slakia, shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? So this is what the revelation of who Esau is and what he's been doing on earth is going to happen. Because everyone doesn't know who's really doing the wickedness in this earth. So, when the Most High reveals it, this is what all the nations are going to see. Like, oh, this is the man, that's done all this wickedness in the earth. But this is the next verse. We break down wilderness. Verse 17. That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. Right? So, we got to read this as is, okay? It says that made the world as a wilderness. It does not say it made the world a wilderness. This is a comparison to the wilderness, okay? So when you read this verse, it's not telling you the whole world is a wilderness. It's saying the world is as a wilderness, all right? That's like if I put braids in my hair, and some man like Allen Iverson, everyone knows used to wear braids and say, I had my hair braided as Iverson had his hair braided. That don't make my hair exactly Iverson's hair because that's his hair. That don't make my braids his braids because that's his braids. I'm just comparing, all right? So when they're giving this prophecy of Esau, they're saying that he maketh the world as a wilderness. It isn't the wilderness, all right? So what we're going to have to do now is, well, what is the wilderness then? What is he making the world as? We're going to get that out the Bible. So let's go to 2nd Ezra and the Apocrypha, chapter 9, verse 29. And we're going to get the biblical definition of the wilderness. Here we go. O power, thou that showest thyself unto us, thou wast showed unto our fathers in the wilderness, in a place where no man treaded, in a barren place when they came out of Egypt. So, according to the Bible, the wilderness is a barren place, a place where no man treaded. That's what the wilderness is. So, has Esau made the earth a wilderness? Has it made it a barren place where no man treaded? Yes, it had. The earth is not fruitful like it was before. The earth is barren because there's no knowledge of the Most High in the world. So it's dead. All right. When you don't have the Most High in life, you're living in physical perdition. Okay, you're separate from the Most High. All right, and He made the whole world to believe a lie. He made the whole world to, through deceit, worship the devil. Right. This is what's going on. All right. So when we understand the word wilderness, we can precept that Esau maketh the world as a wilderness, as this right here, as a barren place where no man treaded. Right? Read it again. O power, thou that showest thyself unto us, thou wast showed unto our fathers in the wilderness, in a place where no man treaded, and a barren place when they came out of Egypt. So this is giving you definition of what the wilderness is, and it's giving you a geographical location. All right? And as you should see, it says, when they came up out of Egypt, when he showed himself unto our fathers in the wilderness. So now we got to say, okay, what is the actual place where the wilderness is? Is there a place connected to the world wilderness? Or is that just some random word that just means it's a barren place where no man treads? No, the Bible defines this place. We're going to get that now. We're going to go to Judith. Glory to the glory to the Most High. For the Apocrypha, tying it all together. We're going to go to Judith chapter 5, verse 14. Okay, and it reads, and brought them to Mount Sinai and Kadesh Barnea, and cast forth all that dwelt in the wilderness. Now we got a city, a title, and a mount. We got a city and a mountain that is associated with the wilderness. Kadesh Barnea and Mount Sinai. Now we know this is where Moses went and got the commandments from the Most High. That Mount Sinai. And that Mount Sinai is in Kadesh Barnea. And these two places are associated with the wilderness. Now we know precept upon precept. We can't just go off that. So let's get a little more to make sure that the wilderness has something to do with Mount Sinai or Kadesh Barnea. Let's just keep checking. Let's go to Deuteronomy 2 and 14. We're getting the understanding of what this wilderness is, so we can understand what Hosea is saying, right? Deuteronomy 2 and 14. And the space in which we came from Kadesh Barnea, same place we just spoke, until we were come over the brook Zered, was 38 years, until all the generation of men of war were wasted out from among the hosts, as the Most High sware unto them. So, the children of Israel, our forefathers, were in the wilderness 40 years. We know this. For 38 of those years, they were in a region called Kadesh Barnea. See this? So, as we continue to refer the wilderness to the place where the children of Israel came out of Egypt and dwelt, which according to Deuteronomy says it was for 38 of the 40 years they were in Kadesh Barnea. This is where the mountain is. This is where they received the law, statutes, and commandments. This is the wilderness right here. Now we're going to break it down further to make sure we know the wilderness is Kadesh Barnea. I'm going on Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 23. It says, likewise, when the Most High sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, go up and possess the land which I have given you, then you rebelled against the commandment of the Most High, your power, and ye believed him not, nor hearkened to his voice. Right? That's the third precept. Everyone knows that when he sent us forth, our forefathers forth to get the land we possess, we were coming from the wilderness. This is Kadesh Barnea. Right? We're going to keep going. Let's go to Numbers 32 and 8. Numbers 32 and 8 reads, thus did your fathers. In fact, I'll start one verse before. I'll start at verse 6. And Moses said unto the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben, shall your brethren go to war, and shall ye sit here? Because the tribe of Gad and Reuben and half tribe of Manasseh wanted to get their inheritance on the east side of Jordan. So Moses just telling them, man, your brother's supposed to go fight and destroy all the Canaanites, and you going to sit over here and chill? Right? Verse 7. And wherefore discourage ye the heart of the children of Israel from going over into the land which the Most High had given them? Verse 8. Thus did your fathers when I sent them from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. Very clear, very simple. He sent them from Kadesh Barnea. These are the spies. And only two that came back that were upright were Caleb and Joshua. The only ones that spoke positively about going into the land. He said he sent them forth from this place. It's called what? Kadesh Barnea. This is the wilderness. Again, right? Let's go to chapter 33. In Numbers chapter 33 documents all the sojourning and the pilgriming of the children of Israel for the whole 40 years before they went into the promised land, right? Let's go into that. We got Numbers chapter 33, verse 6. And they departed from Succoth and pitched in Etham, which is in the edge of the wilderness. So the wilderness now has a starting point now. So they came out of Egypt, crossed over the Red Sea. But now when they came to the city in Etham, it says, which is in the edge of the wilderness. Okay? So now you can't ignore now that the wilderness ain't just a barren land where no man treaded, because pretty sure from Succoth to Etham, there's nothing there. It's in between two cities. But that area is not called the wilderness. Succoth was not called the wilderness. It says Etham is where you're in the edge of the wilderness, which means now you're in Kadesh Barnea, right? Now, just for you to know, you can Strong's, do your Strong's search on Kadesh Barnea, okay? Kadesh go back to the Hebrew Kodesh, which means holy, all day long. Barnea is land or desert, right? Why in the world the Most High put in his holy word and he named a land holy desert? Why would he do that? Okay, he put that, holy desert. This land is the holy desert that he had his holy nation, okay, and for 38 years, while they received the law, statutes, and commandments, while they received instructions on how to build a temple and how to serve the Most High according to the law. This is where they were at, and it's called the holy desert, Kadesh Barnea. I'm going to go a little more. Verse 8, and they departed from before Pihahiroth and passed through the midst of the sea into the wilderness and went 3 days' journey in the wilderness of Etham and pitched in Marah. So it's giving you understanding that this is the wilderness now. In the wilderness. Not just saying a wilderness. It's in the wilderness now. It's giving you clear. Jump down to verse 11. And they removed from the Red Sea and encamped in the wilderness of Sin. Now, is this a different place? Is this a different wilderness? No, we'll see. Precept upon precept. And they took their journey, verse 12, and they took their journey out of the wilderness of Sin and encamped in Dophkah. Right? So now, they left the wilderness, because remember it said 38 years they were in Kadesh Barnea. So they left the wilderness for these next two on campus. It says they departed from Dophkah, verse 13, and they departed from Dophkah and encamped in Alush, and they moved from Alush and encamped at Rephidim, where was no water for the people to drink. And they departed from Rephidim and pitched in the wilderness of Sinai. So now they came back into Kadesh Barnea, back into this wilderness, right? We're going to jump over to verse, let me see. Jump over to verse 36. And they removed from Ezion Gaber and pitched in the wilderness of Zin, which is Kadesh. Give you more clarity, right? Now understand, the wilderness of Zin, the wilderness of Sin, the wilderness of Sinai, the wilderness of Kadesh, this is all the same area. It's all the same place. It's just saying it, calling it different names to try to confuse you, try to keep it a dark mystery for those who don't study all of this. This is all the same area over and over and over. It's all the wilderness. It's all Kadesh Barnea. It says, 36, and they removed from Ezion Gaber and pitched in the wilderness of Zin, which is Kadesh, and they removed from Kadesh and pitched in Mount Hor in the edge of the land of Edom. Right? So understand, Edom, the city Kadesh, when it says they pitched in Mount Hor in the edge of the land of Edom, this is giving you some more geographical location that the border of Edom borders with Kadesh Barnea. It's in Kadesh Barnea. The border of Edom is in Kadesh Barnea. Right there. Right? So even though they were still in the wilderness, they were in the border of Edom's land inheritance, but it was still considered Kadesh Barnea. Alright? But it was in their border. Right? And it's going to help us break down where this is at today, too, when we go into that. Right? Now, we're going to go back to 2nd Ezra 7 and 36. We're going to get something right there. Key. 2nd Ezra 7 and 36. And it says, Then said I, Abraham prayed for the Sodomites, and Moses for the fathers that sinned in the wilderness. And we know Moses, he's synonymous, and everyone knows he was in that wilderness with the children of Israel. Right? We're just showing you a little more evidence that the wilderness is where Moses was with our forefathers. This is what the wilderness is. And as we went through precept on precept, the wilderness is Kadesh Barnea. So we just want to beat it all the way home that the wilderness is Kadesh Barnea. Read it again. Then said I, Abraham prayed for the Sodomites, and Moses for the fathers that sinned in the wilderness. These are the ones that were murmuring against the Most High, talking about, does the Most High only speak through Moses? Can they speak through us? I'm complaining about, there's no water to drink. Complaining about we want some food. You know what I'm saying? Complaining about how we out here, we had everything we needed in Egypt, but now we out here in the wilderness. We don't have this, we don't have that. Okay, so they were sinning. The Most High kept on making intercession for Israel, pleading with the Most High. Don't consume these dudes, man. Have mercy on them, man. Just, So now we're going to go to Exodus 19 and 1. Exodus 19 and 1. I hope you're seeing very clearly. Precept, we're going through all these precepts for you to see. Wilderness is a specific place. It's a specific place. Alright? Exodus 19 and verse 1. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day they came into the wilderness of Sinai. Another term. Wilderness of Sin, wilderness of Zin, wilderness of Sinai, wilderness of Kadesh. This is all the same place, right? For they were departed from Rephidim, we just read that, and were come to the desert, Barnea, desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. Right? Let's read one more verse, verse 3. And Moses went up unto Ai, and the Most High called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel. So, showing you again another correlation with the wilderness as a place where the mountain of the Most High was, and it is called Kadesh Barnea. Right? Oh, still moving on. Now, let's go to Numbers 13 and 3, because you got some that say, well, that area was called something else too. We're going to get that right now. Alright, this is Numbers 13 and 1. It says, And the Most High spake unto Moses, Send thou men that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, every one a ruler among them. Verse 3. And Moses, by the commandment of the Most High, sent them from the wilderness of Paran. Here goes another term. See, this will make one thing. These are all kind of different places. This is all Kadesh Barnea. Every single place. And I'm going to show you. And Moses, by the commandment of the Most High, sent them from the wilderness of Paran. All those men were the heads of the children of Israel. So, this is when he sent them out to spy out the land. We're gonna precept that in Joshua to show you that this was Kadesh Barnea. Joshua 14:6. Joshua 14 and 6. Right. Joshua 14 and 6 says, Then the children of Judah came unto Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite said unto him, Thou knowest the thing that the Most High said unto Moses, the man of the Most High, concerning me and thee in Kadesh Barnea. So he's referring to, Caleb is referring to Joshua, how he said all those that came that were 20 years old and upward were going to perish in the wilderness, because they went up and saw the land, but they saw the sons of Anak, these giants, and they were scared of them. Like, man, we can't go up in there. Them dudes is mighty. We can't do that. And to discourage all the other tribes of Israel to obey the commandment of the Most High and go in there and possess the land of Canaan. So he's discussing this with Joshua, saying, remember when we was in Kadesh Barnea, the Most High, he told us, me and you don't be the only ones that live, because we the only ones that was faithful. Like, we can do it. We can trust in the Most High. He our power. He going to give us the city. So the Most High blessed him too. Like, you guys going to make it. But everyone else that's 20 years and upward, they finna die, and they're not finna see the heritage, right? So I'm going to read it one more time. Then the children of Judah came unto Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, said unto him, Thou knowest the thing that the Most High said unto Moses, the man of the Most High, concerning me and thee in Kadesh Barnea. Verse 7, 40 years old was I when Moses, the servant of the Most High, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to espy out the land, and I brought him word again as it was in mine heart. So we just read in Numbers that he sent out one man from every tribe to go spy out the land, and they sent them from the wilderness of Paran. Now over here, same time, same people that got sent up is saying he sent me from Kadesh Barnea. Right? So it's the same thing. They just wording it different because it's just little specific places within the wilderness, within Kadesh Barnea, certain places, right? Same place, right? I'm going to read a little passage out of Jasher just for you to know. You know, we deal with Jasher, but we only just dealing with the Bible right now because I know a lot of people don't want to deal with Jasher, but I'm going to read you say the same thing in Jasher, right? This is Jasher chapter 83, verse 30. Verse 29 says, And the children of Israel called that place Kibroth Hattaavah, because there they buried the people that lusted flesh. Verse 30, And they departed from Kibroth Hattaavah and pitched in Hazareth, which is in the wilderness of Paran. And while the children of Israel were in Hazareth, the anger of the Most High was kindled against Miriam on account of Moses, and she became leprous white as snow. Verse 32, And she was confined without the camp for 7 days until she had received again after her leprosy. 33. And the children of Israel afterward departed from Hazareth and pitched in the end of the wilderness of Paran. Verse 34, at that time the Most High spake to Moses to send 12 men from the children of Israel, one man to a tribe, to go and explore the land of Canaan. Verse 35, and Moses sent the 12 men, and they came to the land of Canaan to search it and examine it, and they explored the whole land from the wilderness of Sin to Rechob, as thou comest to Chemath. So Jasher lining up too. Okay, and you can check all those sojourners in Numbers 33. So you can see these are the places where the children of Israel were. Alright, so that's another precept in Jasher, that the wilderness of Paran, same thing as the wilderness of Kadesh or Kadesh Barnea. Same thing, right? All praise in the Most High. Let's go to Numbers 32 and 8. Numbers 32 and 8. Okay. Okay, yeah, we went there already. So, now we're going to go to Exodus 16 and 1. Beat this all the way home. Exodus 16 and 1. It says, and they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came into the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month, after their departing out of the land of Egypt. Just another scripture showing you this is what the wilderness is, right? Numbers 21 and 4. And there's even more precepts. I'm reading you a lot of them, but it's way more. If you just read all of the Torah, you'll see wilderness all through it, because that's where they were for 38 years. And you'll see Kadesh all in there. I'm just reading you a couple. Numbers chapter 20 verse 1. Then came the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, into the desert of Zin, desert is Barnea, in the first month, and the people abode in Kadesh. And Miriam died there and was buried there. And there was no water for the congregation, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. Verse 3. And the people chose to Moses and spake, saying, would I that we had died when our brethren died before the Most High? Verse 4. And why have ye brought up the congregation of the Most High into this wilderness, that we and our cattle should die there? Right? So this is some of the chiding the children of Israel were doing with Moses, on behalf of what they feel the Most High was doing to them was wrong. Right? So we just beating this all the way in of what this is. And let's go to one more precept. 1 Corinthians 10. 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 5. Alright. In fact, we'll read the whole thing. 1 Corinthians 10. Moreover, verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, the Red Sea. Verse 2. And were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea. Verse 3. And did all eat that same spiritual meat, which was manna. Verse 4. And did all drink that same spiritual drink. For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Hamashiach. Verse 5. But with many of them Ahiah was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. We know that this place where they were overthrown was in Kadesh Barnea, calling it the wilderness. So we seeing overwhelmingly, okay, to someone who don't want to just believe what was taught, to someone who just want to read what the Bible say, that the wilderness is Kadesh Barnea. It's not just a regular place all over the earth that's barren, that no man treaded, or unfruitful place. According to the Bible, when it says the wilderness, it's talking about a specific location called Kadesh Barnea. Alright? This is why we're going through all that. We get another precept in 2 Maccabees 2 and 4. We almost done with this first installment. Okay. 2 Maccabees chapter 2 verse 4. It was also contained in the same writing that the prophet, being warned of Ahiah, commanded the tabernacle and the ark to go with him as he went forth into the mountain where Moses climbed up and saw the heritage of the Most High. Now, this is an account of Jeremiah, all right? This is what the Most High commanded Jeremiah to do during the takedown of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi in Judea when they were being taken into the Babylonian captivity, okay? And this is going to give you some it's going to, I hope it makes you think, okay? Because Hosea 2:14 says, "And I will lure her, Israel, into the wilderness, and there will I speak comfortably unto her." Okay, so this is going to be something you're going to have to ask yourself. Okay, why has this happened? What I'm about to read to you. I'm going to start at the top of the chapter. Second Maccabees chapter 2. It is also found in their records that Jeremy the prophet commanded them that were carried away to take of the fire as it had been signified. Verse 2. And how that the prophets, having given them the law, charged them not to forget the commandments of the Most High, and that they should not err in their minds when they see images of silver and gold, and with their ornaments, and with other such speeches, exhorted he them that the law should not depart from their hearts. So he just telling those, look, you're going to go into captivity, you're going to see some abominations, you're going to see some wickedness, but man, you better keep that law, man. We Israel, we supposed to keep this law, and we know the Most High going to deliver us at some point. He's exhorting them, encouraging them, right? Verse 4. And it was also contained in the same writing that the prophet, being warned of Ahiah, commanded the tabernacle and the ark to go with him as he went forth into the mountain where Moses climbed up and saw the heritage of the Most High. We know this is Mount Sinai, Mount Horeb, in Kadesh Barnea, right? Verse 5. And when Jeremy came thither, he found a hollow cave wherein he laid the tabernacle and the ark and the altar of incense, and so stopped the door. So he tucked all this stuff into a cave in the mountain of Mount Horeb, and he covered it, right? And some of those that followed him came to mark the way, but they could not find it. So he had people that was with him, and they were marking the way so they can come right back to it. They figured, we just put it here. When we get out of Babylonian captivity, we're going to come right back here and get it, right? Verse 7. Which when Jeremy perceived, he blamed them, saying, As for that place, it shall be unknown until the time that Ahiah gather his people again together and receive them unto mercy. Right? So he telling, man, why y'all marking away? Why y'all marking away? You guys are not about to come back and get this. Only way that this stuff is going to get is when the Most High gather his people again, like it says in Hosea 2:14, to this place. And when he receives them unto glory. Now, mind you, it does not say Yeshai, the Messiah, is going to gather them. It says the Most High is going to gather them. Right? Remember, the prophecies, Yeshua said, I come not to destroy the law of the prophet. So this is a prophecy given to Hosea that the Most High would allure Israel back to the wilderness. These things, the ark, the fire, the tabernacle, and the altar of incense were put back in that mount. Right? And it says, reading verse 7 again, and when Jeremiah perceived, he blamed them, saying, As for that place, it shall be unknown until the time that Ahiah gather his people again together and receive them unto glory. Verse 8. Then shall the Most High show them these things, and the glory of the Most High shall appear, and the cloud also, as it was showed under Moses, and as when Solomon desired that the place might be honorably sanctified. So, why the Most High tell Jeremiah to take all this stuff and put it in the same wilderness, in the same mountain, if he not finna have nobody come get that? If we're not going to sacrifice, bless your name, Ahiah, on the same altar incense to the Most High again, why even saving it for? Why did he tell him to do that? Because somebody got to go back over there and get that. Who? His people that he said he's going to gather back there, like it says in Hosea chapter 14. All right? You want to say that Hosea, the wilderness is talking about something else, then you got to break that down right there. Why is that right there? Why did he even put that right there? Right? You gotta know this, right? Now, I'm going to give you something else. We're going to go back in the book of Jasher, and we're going to read something that that Joseph did. Right? We're going to read something that Joseph did. And when y'all read this, something else you're going to have to think about. Alright? See, what Joseph did, Joseph went to war, smacked up some kings, took this spoil, and he had a lot of spoil, right? And so what he did is he hid some of it. He hid. You think, he's not going to take us over there. We're not going to have nothing. We're not going to have this. We're not going to have that. No, it's not true. We're going to have everything we need. And when we get it, it's going to be because some of these things that Joseph put over there for us, right? He got something over there that's for us right now. Okay, let me see what's that. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Here we go right here. We're almost there, bear with me. Okay. This is the book of Jasher, chapter 55, verse 31. I'll start at verse 30. It says, "And Joseph purchased all the lands of fields of Egypt for bread on the account of Pharaoh. And Joseph supplied all Egypt with bread all the days of the famine. And Joseph collected all the silver and gold that came unto him from the corn which they brought throughout the land. And he accumulated much gold and silver, besides an immense quantity of onyx stones, bdellium, and valuable garments which they brought unto Joseph from every part of the land when their money was spent." So when the famine hit for 7 years, and the Most High gave Joseph the prophecy and had Israel save up food for 7 years, when all the earth was going through the famine, it was coming buying from Joseph in Egypt, they were getting just stupid rich, just wealthy, outrageous, because everyone they spent all their money buying food. Then they start selling their clothes. Then they start selling their land. Like, look, just give us food. They sold their land, so the whole landmass of the country of Egypt belonged to the Pharaoh and Joseph, because they bought it from the people. So then you have them farming the land, and all the stuff you bring, you're going to bring me part of it, and you're going to keep something for yourself, because that's my land now. So they owned so much, right? Let me tell you what Joseph did, though. Verse 31. "And Joseph took all the silver and gold that came into his hand, about 72 talents of gold and silver, and also onyx stones and bdellium in great abundance. And Joseph went and concealed them in 4 parts." So he hid it in 4 different places. Because, man, I'm not an Egyptian. I'm an Israelite, man. Anything can happen. I'm going to tuck this away, right? "And he concealed one part in the wilderness near the Red Sea." Yes, indeed. "And one part in the river Parath, and the third and fourth part he concealed in the desert, opposite to the wilderness of Persia and Media." Right? So, understand it. The Most High put a spirit on him to hide some spoil, some treasures, some gold for somebody, right? In the wilderness near the Red Sea. So, putting it all together. Hosea 2 and 14. "I'm going to lure her to the wilderness. I'm going to give her valleys. I'm going to give her her vineyards. The valley of Achor. It's going to be an oasis. In this barren land, it's actually going to be an oasis. We're going to have everything we need. You know what I'm saying? Most High going to have the altar there for us to worship Him on. He's going to have that gold that Joseph hid in the wilderness. It's going to be there for us. We're going to have everything we need when we're there, y'all. We're going to be sustained. All right? So what is this whole thing that I'm breaking this down showing you? That before Mashiach Yeshua return, all the prophecies all got to be fulfilled. That's what he said. Come not to destroy the law or the prophets. I come not to destroy but to fulfill. Right? So when we understand that this prophecy hasn't been happened yet, because his people have not been gathered back to the wilderness, which is Kadesh Barnea, then one thing we know is the Messiah is not coming yet. That's one. That's the first thing you got to wake up and understand. He not coming yet because he ain't even gathered us back over there yet. That's one. All right? When you understand that, then you got to know, okay, well, when is this going to happen? Now you got to start looking at the prophecies concerning what else he said was going to happen with us. And I'm going to read you one, and we're going to call this lesson the wilderness. Part 1, the wilderness. And then in part 2, most high willing, we're going to go into the new covenant, right? So we're going to go right now to Hebrews chapter 8 and 8. Chapter 8, verse 8. I'm going to read to you. This is where this is going to happen. Just where the first one happened. This going to line up. Hebrews chapter 8, verse 8. Start at verse 7. For if the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. All right? First covenant was given where? In the wilderness, in Kadesh Barnea, by Moses, come down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tables of stone. Verse 8. For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, saith the Most High, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Verse 9. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Most High. Verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Most High. I will put my laws into their mind, and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. This is going to be the words that he speak comfortably unto us. When he do this in the wilderness, this is when he's going to bring us into the new covenant. He said he's going to do this, right? This is going to be before Hamashiach Yeshai return. Okay? This is what you got to understand. You're not going to get the second covenant nowhere but where you got the first covenant. Right? You got to know this. One more precept. You're going to learn and know and understand in this Bible, there's a very, very important scripture. Right? We're about to read it right now. This is Ecclesiastes. Let me see, man. Let me see. Where's that scripture? Oh, my bad. It's not. What apocrypha? Scriptures. Onto the scriptures, right? Yes. Hold on. Oh man, where's that scripture at? We're on this last precept, y'all. Last precept. Ecclesiastes 1. Here it goes. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. The thing that had been, it is that which shall be. First place where we got the covenant. It's going to be the second place where we got the covenant. And that which is done is that which shall be done. He gave the covenant to give us laws, statutes, and commandments to us for us to follow the laws. Then he's going to give them to us again. This way he's going to give it to us and put it in our heart. But he's going to be giving us the same commandments again. We're coming under the rod completely, meaning sacrificial will be back. Right? And there is no new thing under the sun. It's not going to be anything different. It's going to be the same way. He's going to lure us to the wilderness. He's going to give us the altar incense, the tabernacle, the fire, and we're going to sacrifice to him the same way we sacrificed to him the first time when our forefathers came about the land of Egypt. All right, by Shema Mashiach Yeshai, right? So, it's the first installment, and letting you know, without a doubt, the wilderness is Kadesh Barnea, y'all. Most High will in the next video, we're going to break down what's going to be happening there, and maybe most high willing the third part will be where this place is today. All right. So until then, I say Kwam Yasha Allah. Stay instant in and out of season. All right. Do the work of evangelists. Wake our brethren up so they can know the truth. So shall we be saved. He that endured to the end shall be saved. Most High bless y'all. All praise the Most High. Show high by Shemi Shai. Shalom.